Deep within one of the most distant regions ever examined by the James Webb Space Telescope, astronomers noticed something unusual. It was not a brilliant star, a glowing galaxy, or a fast-moving comet. Instead, it appeared as a faint dark feature crossing a field of ancient light. At first, the observation seemed insignificant. Spacecraft images often contain imperfections. Sensors collect enormous amounts of data, and tiny disturbances can sometimes create strange patterns. Most unusual features disappear after careful analysis. But this one raised questions. The dark feature appeared where astronomers expected to see only distant starlight. It seemed to interrupt the glow coming from objects located far beyond our own galaxy. The effect was subtle, yet difficult to ignore. The discovery highlights an important truth about the universe. Space is not truly empty. For generations, people imagined the cosmos as a vast darkness sprinkled with stars. Modern astronomy has revealed something very different. The space between stars contains clouds of gas, microscopic dust particles, magnetic fields, energetic radiation, and invisible structures stretching across unimaginable distances. Even regions that appear completely dark may contain enormous amounts of matter. Because of this, astronomers pay close attention whenever light behaves unexpectedly. A missing patch of brightness can be just as important as a new source of light. Throughout history, some of the greatest discoveries in astronomy have come from studying what cannot be seen directly. Planets around distant stars reveal themselves when they briefly block a tiny fraction of starlight. Black holes are often discovered because of their effects on nearby matter. Invisible material becomes visible through the influence it has on its surroundings. The universe constantly leaves clues. Sometimes those clues appear as brightness. Sometimes they appear as darkness. One possible explanation for the strange feature involves cosmic dust. Although individual dust particles are incredibly small, vast collections of them can block tremendous amounts of light. Across the Milky Way, giant dust clouds create dark lanes that cut through glowing nebulae. These structures can hide entire stellar nurseries where new stars are being born. Seen from a great distance, a drifting cloud of dust could appear as a moving shadow against a brighter background. If this explanation proves correct, the observation would still be remarkable. It would offer scientists a rare opportunity to study hidden regions that are normally difficult to observe. But dust is not the only possibility. Astronomers have long suspected that countless unseen objects travel through interstellar space. Among them may be rogue planets. Unlike Earth, Mars, or Jupiter, rogue planets orbit no star. They wander alone through the darkness between stellar systems. These worlds may have been ejected from their original planetary families during violent gravitational interactions billions of years ago. Once expelled, they begin a lonely journey across the galaxy. Without sunlight to illuminate them, rogue planets become extremely difficult to detect. Most remain invisible against the blackness of space. Yet if one crossed in front of a distant background filled with stars, it could briefly interrupt the light reaching our telescopes. From Earth, that event might not appear as a planet at all. It could appear as nothing more than a faint moving shadow. The idea sounds extraordinary, but rogue planets are believed to be common throughout the Milky Way. Some studies suggest there may be billions of them, perhaps even more numerous than the stars themselves. Most drift unseen through the darkness. Only occasionally might one reveal its existence by passing between us and a distant source of light. Whether the mystery involves dust, a hidden world, or something else entirely, one fact remains clear. The universe contains far more than we can see. And every unexpected observation reminds us how much remains undiscovered beyond the reach of ordinary sight. As scientists continued examining the strange dark feature, other possibilities emerged. One candidate was a brown dwarf. Brown dwarfs occupy a curious middle ground between planets and stars. They are too massive to be considered planets, yet not massive enough to sustain the nuclear fusion that powers true stars. When young, brown dwarfs emit a faint infrared glow. As they age, however, they cool and become increasingly difficult to detect. Some eventually become so dim that they blend almost completely into the darkness of space. A distant brown dwarf moving across a crowded background of stars could create subtle changes in brightness that attract the attention of powerful observatories like the James Webb Space Telescope. But there is another possibility that is even more mysterious. Gravity itself. According to modern physics, massive objects can bend the path of light. This phenomenon, known as gravitational lensing, allows astronomers to discover objects that cannot be seen directly. Instead of observing the hidden object itself, scientists observe its effect on the light passing nearby. Galaxies, clusters of galaxies, and even black holes can distort the appearance of distant objects located behind them. Sometimes they magnify the background. Sometimes they stretch it. Sometimes they create subtle distortions that are only visible through careful analysis. If the strange feature observed by Webb was connected to gravity, then the darkness may not represent a physical object at all. Instead, it could be evidence of an invisible structure altering the path of ancient light before it reached Earth. This possibility naturally leads to one of the greatest mysteries in modern science. Dark matter. Astronomers have discovered that visible matter accounts for only a small fraction of the universe. Galaxies rotate faster than expected. Massive cosmic structures contain far more gravitational influence than visible stars and gas can explain. Something unseen appears to dominate the cosmos. Scientists call this hidden component dark matter. Although dark matter does not absorb or reflect light like ordinary matter, its gravity influences the universe on enormous scales. Researchers continue searching for ways to understand its true nature. Every unexplained observation becomes another clue in that investigation. Black holes provide another fascinating possibility. These objects are among the most extreme structures known to exist. Their gravity is so powerful that nothing can escape once it crosses the event horizon. Yet black holes are not always surrounded by bright material. Some may drift silently through space, nearly impossible to detect directly. Even when invisible, their gravity continues shaping the environment around them. A hidden black hole passing between Earth and distant starlight could create unusual distortions that resemble a shadow-like effect. Again, astronomers would not see the black hole itself. They would see only its influence. This is often how science uncovers the unknown. The invisible reveals itself through consequences. An unseen planet affects a star. An unseen black hole alters nearby matter. An unseen concentration of mass changes the path of light. Again and again, discoveries emerge not from what we observe directly, but from what we observe indirectly. Of course, scientists must remain cautious. Extraordinary explanations require extraordinary evidence. The mysterious feature could still result from a data processing artifact, detector noise, or another completely ordinary cause. Every possibility must be tested carefully. Researchers compare observations, analyze multiple wavelengths, and verify that the feature appears consistently over time. Most anomalies eventually receive simple explanations. Yet the rare few that survive intense scrutiny often transform our understanding of the universe. Regardless of the final answer, the observation delivers a powerful message. Deep space is not an empty void. It is a dynamic realm filled with hidden structures, unseen worlds, invisible forces, and mysteries waiting to be uncovered. The James Webb Space Telescope continues to reveal this hidden universe in unprecedented detail. And perhaps the most fascinating lesson is this: not every discovery begins with a bright new light in the darkness. Sometimes the greatest mystery is the darkness itself. A missing glow. A silent interruption. A shadow crossing the ancient light of the cosmos. And somewhere beyond the limits of our current understanding, countless more secrets remain hidden among the stars, waiting for the moment they finally reveal themselves.